my fellow freedom, low sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in the LO3 podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful realms of planet Earth. And today's date is Tuesday, October 26, 2021. This episode is number 1408, entitled Vaccine Advisor to FDA CDC Attends Wuhan Conference and Rittenhouse Self-Defense Argument Bolstered. Definitely. I will be talking about reading those two articles and giving my intake. However, I'm just browsing through censored.news. I encourage everyone to check it out. And there's some good stuff here. You know, according from the Epoch Times, Alabama governor signs to order to fight federal vaccine mandate. No problem. You don't really need to order. Just any commandeering doctrine. 10th Amendment, baby. Any questions about that? Just study the reason why Prohibition failed in the 1920s. All right, and plus, according to Natural News, Oregon government accidentally leaked vaccine status of 40,000 state employees. Fumble! Right, and of course, on LifeSite News, former Canadian privacy official warned vax passports creating global web of surveillance. All hail to Big Brother. And they call me to carry the conspiracy kook. Remember that episode I done on COVID Pass? Well, I can tell you this. I made my statement, I shared it on Instagram, and actually the folks from COVID Pass trying to refute it and saying, oh, we support decentralization. Well, please get your facts straight. Well, if you go to that episode, read the website, it totally contradicts the rhetoric. So, and now look what happened. Well, another vindication point for me, of course, but I'm not saying it out of arrogance, but in good faith. I'm enjoying every minute of it. And, of course, boxing champ Floyd Mayweather supports NBA star Kyle Irving's decision not to get jabbed. That is fantastic. I know many people from Brooklyn are supporting Kyle Irving. And, you know, it's great because that's my hometown. I'm proud of the people in Brooklyn for standing up for what's right. You are not disenfranchised individuals. You are beautiful people. And you can tell de Blasio to stick it where the sun don't shine. He's nothing but a Palmolive sap. And anyone who wants to offend him, prove me wrong if you dare. Ooh, of course. And, of course, right over here, I'm just browsing through. Of course, New American, federal employees sue Biden administration over vax mandate, and Chomsky stars the unvaxxed into submission. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Congratulations, you old puss bag, Karl Marxist pig that you are, Chomsky. I know you love Joseph Stalin, Karl Marx, Trotsky, Adolf Hitler across the board. You are nothing more than a tyrannical, technocratic hack for all these years. And you want me to support this man? I was never impressed by him overall. Yeah, he may have some good points, but you know what? What he said, he's another medical Jim Crow hack. And all you folks out there want to worship him and don't like it, send me your proof why he's such a great man. Please. I'm just tired of the small talk, even from some of these social media geniuses. But one thing I know for sure, friends. If you want to support apartheid, you're pro-Sun City, okay? From the 80s, in South Africa, you know, so same old stuff. When it comes to tyranny, I call it all out equally. It doesn't matter where it came from. I get them all. Plain and simple. And of course, says here, New American pushback against COVID vaccine mandates continues to grow. A little rebellion now and then is good. That's what Thomas Jefferson says. This is an old article here from the COVID blog. 3 Ohio judges died unexpectedly in 9-day span after vax mandate in Cuyahoga County. Could we say astuteness is the way to go, but it's actually obtuseness, right? Oh my goodness. And don't get me wrong, there's some people I know who take the shot, but they support freedom of choice, and I respect them for that. And always give them assured information on nutrition and how to counter if the vaccine will try to destroy your immune system. I give them information on how to make it better themselves. Because remember this, folks, everyone's going to be affected differently, and it's been proven time and time again. And of course, over here, gas stations across Iran crippled after massive cyber attack. Could we say New World Order involved? Possibly CIA? Yeah, it's possible. You know, the whole thing, the world revolves around, they want one nation to revolve around them. Of course, New World Order is pulling the strings. Excuse me. Alright, let me just look around. I'm just browsing through here. Of course, on SHTFplan.com, Brazilian president censored by Facebook for sharing info that devastates the official narrative. Ooh. So what does Zuckerberg have to say? Well, it's very obscene, and we got bought and paid. We got contributions from the big pharma companies. So I know all my women find my voice very sexy, and I know my wife says, "Can we make love together?" And I'm being sarcastic here, folks, but that's how he talks. Like, yeah, NPR is my favorite network to watch because I like how they speak. I'd be so hypnotized. Okay, and and of course the Delta Plus variant is now in Massachusetts. Is it fact or fiction? Is it synthetic? Yeah, it's possible, but is it worse than the SARS-CoV-2? Well, many researchers and doctors, scientists said absolutely not. Not the ones who were bought and paid for by Big Pharma, the house and field peasants. And we got here a national file, Delaware. Audit confirms dead voters and literally impossible numbers from nursing homes in the 2020 election. So dead people are voting once again. Hey, it reminds me of the 60s, right? With JFK and Nixon. Donald Trump Jr. fires shots. Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people. Okay, go to worldnetdaily.com and read it. And remember, Alec Baldwin wants everyone to be told what to do, how to wipe their rear ends, but he believes he's prestige. He's a Hollywood celebrity. Ooh, how masculine is that? Oh, man. Of course, SJT reported January 6th protests a letter from solidarity confinement. What? Jane Cansley, QAnon shaman. Well, we all know it's not insurrection. It's an inside job. Yeah, done by design by possibly the FBI. And they say that member of the Black Lives Matter, Antifa involved, but remember they all could be agent provocateurs for all we know. Though I don't have to really use those two names, but agent provocateurs, hired guns, FBI informants, they're all involved. J. Edgar Hoover's legacy still lives on. Oh man, so what else is new here? State's AG sued Biden over reversal of ban on abortion referrals. Yeah, so the big 10th Amendment battle. And then it says here, Big League politics. Dave Chappelle's response to critics is about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot. Well, you know what? You can say whatever you want about Dave Chappelle. When it comes to his free speech, I will defend it like everyone else. Like these individuals or not, even including my enemies. If you violate their rights, mine could be next. Alright, so I'm just browsing through here. Yeah, and this one here from the Children's Health Defense, New WHO Group, World Health Organization Group, to look into pandemic origins dodged by alleged conflicts of interest. Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Alright? Oh yeah, the cool Afghanistan withdrawal, bro. Okay, that's my strategic culture. Alright, so let's see what else is new down here. Joe Rogan set to take Dr. Fauci to task over puppy torture. Of course, Breitbart, Texas Governor Abbott signs law protecting female athletes from trans competitors in schools. So the ACO going to get involved. You know what? They need to just butt out. With all due respect, butt out. Take your crap somewhere else, okay? I will disagree with them on that. They got to try to defend these individuals. Hey, start a trans division in these sporting events, okay? Plain and simple. Now, I'm not going to go crucifying people who does these things, but if you're going to intervene, it's a war against women. The tyrannical hacks love using that, but when it comes the opposite, they don't have a system. They're like criminals, okay? They will have a cow when things backfire on them. According to Humans for Free are free. Comcast censors 20 TV ad about family claiming 12-year-old daughter was paralyzed by Pfizer jab. Go figure, Comcast sucks. Rand Paul Liar Fauci is danger to society. Fire him now. You're being too nice. How about just throw his ass in jail for war crimes? Well, I can't jump the gun on that, but Rand Paul, it's called steps. So I like that. Australia health officials threat that this borderline a crime against humanity. Yep, of course. And it says here, and all news pipeline, blood has been spilled in some city streets already to look like war zones. You guys can look at that to yourselves. Harbinger Daily. Christians respond after Washington Post claims opposition to abortion is based on faulty interpretation. And let's go around here. The Free Beacon. Happy birthday to his grown woman who will never be president. Oh, you mean Hillary Clinton? CFR scum queen herself? A Bushite? New World Order proud? Who the hell cares? Hey, she acts so tough about going to war. Throw her baggy ass in the front line, right? Man, I'm being a little bombastic today, folks. Please forgive me. It's just, I don't like being insulted when you try to promote these big mainstream garbage media is trying to promote these clowns. Oh man, of course, in law enforcement today, Berkeley students willingly donate funds to support the Taliban. And Haitian gang that kidnapped U.S. missionaries set ransom at $17 million. Well, you know what? Get some people in there to take these clowns out, no questions asked. And of course, True Pundit, they got some. He's good. I like his stuff. You can check that out as well. And always pay attention to La Palma volcanic eruption update. Okay, 3 collapses and all that good stuff in the main cones. So just pay attention, folks. It can affect the northern hemisphere too, the western hemisphere. That is possible. So always got to look at that. And from law enforcement today, 3 Florida teens planned brutal murder of classmate for over a week. I bet you these people are on psychotropic drugs. I wouldn't be surprised. And WUWT, top UN climate official, world conflict and refugee chaos if you disobey. Yep, more Club of Rome rhetoric, folks. They all want to think alike and smell the same. Wow. And of course, discover 5 zombie states in a haunted house. That's Truth in Accounting. NTD. Got some stuff here. Storm drenches northeast. First 2 expected before Halloween. And of course, Hong Kong convicts second person under national security law, probably for being a critical thinker. Adjusted news. I might as well read some of the stuff here. Let's Go branding gains widespread American recognition, approval as form of protest. And of course, the Stream couponing Virginia couple received a combined nearly 20 years in prison for $31 million of fraud. Wow. So financial news in China. Real estate developer Modern Land defaults on bond, declining the savings. So that's G News. Yeah, so actually look it up. Definitely look this up. Censored.news is very good. Good information. And right now, like hell, the world's in the hell in a handbasket, right? It doesn't matter where you're at. And one thing I always tell people, pay attention, be prepared, remain vigilant. And a little rebellion now and then is good. So civil disobedience is a bad term. Non-compliance is better. Because the truth of the matter is, folks, it doesn't matter where you live, especially in the United States, we live in we support common law. Read your state constitutions as well. Okay, U.S. and state constitutions, and read and practice it thoroughly. Just study it thoroughly. And the more you know, the more you exercise, the less you fear the state. That's just how it is. There's too many people out there still want to hide, hinder in their caves, and listen to the idiot box and what's going on the stupid ass radio, and including watching all the garbage stuff on the internet. The garbage stuff, not the good stuff, the garbage stuff. And they're being brainwashed, hook, line, and sinker, and trying to tell you how to live. And they can't even take care of themselves. That's why I'm always one of these individuals like to be consistent on my views and my beliefs. I try not to be a hypocrite. And we've all made our errors in life. I have my faults too, and I boldly admit that. And it's okay. But when you learn from it, you better yourself. You got folks out there that are habitual offenders. They keep doing the same something over and over and over again. And they want to talk about their problems, their handicaps. And it's totally ridiculous. Don't make any piss poor excuse. I'm not saying things are simple, but you have to have that vision. Don't be distracted by a bunch of ungrateful hacks. Don't entrap yourself. Don't hang out with a bunch of losers. That's how I look at it. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody else. No, absolutely not. You have folks out there that want to clown around, that want to talk about, oh, well, I'm so poor. I'm like, who cares? Like, hey, I'm a poor bastard too at times. Okay, and there's days I lived in my camper and I lived in vehicles and so forth. But you know what? That's okay. You get inspired, you better yourselves. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little bit havoc right now. The central banks, the deep state, the world order, the global order, whatever you want to call it, wants us clamped down, fighting amongst each other. They all believe we're just a bunch of numbered peasants. And you know what? I don't buy it one bit. And it's disappointing, especially people in my demographics haven't learned from the past. They still keep going that spinning wheel of obedience to the state. That's all part of the order, folks. They don't give a damn about you and I. It doesn't matter where you live, what do you look like, what your gender is, your skin color, ethnic background, creed, etc. They don't give two craps about you and I. Well, this is why I've been doing it for so many years, and I'm like, man, time flies when I'm having fun. And I know I'm digressing right now, but forgive me, I'm just in that spiritual mood, and I haven't, done this in a while, speaking this way, so I know I'm doing this long rant, but hey, I hope you enjoy it, because I had to let it down on my chest. But the whole thing is, I don't get mad, I get inspired. And I got some beautiful people I know that influence me a lot to better myself, and always appreciate what I do, and I always value their friendship. And there's people I love dearly, and I do that, and always love my neighbors as well. So doesn't matter where you're at. Well, I'm going to start doing a little narration here of two articles which are pretty damn interesting. And this one here came from the nationalpulse.com. It's exclusive. This one's entitled COVID-19 Vaccine Advisor to FDA CDC Attends Wuhan Conference Featuring Chinese Military Researchers. They're still at it. And let's see what they had to say here. This is by Natalie Winters. It says here, U.S. researchers, including those advising the federal government on COVID-19 vaccination policy and those funded by the National Institutes of Health, attended a Communist Party virology conference featuring scientists from China's military and the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The 9th Wuhan International Symposium of Modern Virology, which took place September 26th to the 28th, was hosted by State Key Laboratory of Virology at Wuhan University. Amongst its speakers were several Chinese Communist Party apparatchiks, including Director of Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, George Gao, and the Wuhan Institute of Virology's Bat Lady, Shi Zingli. Hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. And you see the little pretty faces here, a bunch of flamboyants. They say, yes, I will bend over for Maoism. Uncle Tom and Aunt Jemima is right, absolutely. If you want real news, you click to them, all right? So, She, whose controversial work focuses on the manipulation of bat coronaviruses for human infection, delivered an opening keynote address at the conference on the impact of 2019 new coronavirus mutation on virus pathogenicity and immune escape. 7 additional speakers at the conference were from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, believed by many to be the source of COVID-19. And there is the keynote report, so you can look it up for yourselves. And Wuhan Institute of Virology scientific journal, Virologica Sinica, hopefully I pronounced that name correctly, who was also a sponsor of the conference. I got the hiccups here. One moment, I got to take a shot here of iced tea. In addition to a heavy Chinese Communist Party presence, American researchers, including including those working for the federal government, were also in attendance. Yeah, can we say exceptionalism? Absolutely. But hey, that's what the Biden administration, that's okay. I blame Donald Trump for everything because I'm a witch hunting wuss. It makes me more masculine, even though I have a high-pitched voice. Well, Stanley Perlman, who serves on the Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, or VRBPAC, which is charged with advising the Food and Drug Administration on the approval of the COVID-19 vaccines, attended the conference and delivered a presentation entitled Animal Models of COVID-19. Perlman, who is an advocate for the authorization of COVID-19 booster shots under the EUA, also serves on the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC committee, tasked with planning COVID-19 allocation. Perlman also has been a strong promoter of a natural origins theory, branding the possibility that the virus was engineered by the Chinese Communist Party-run Wuhan Institute of Virology is as impossible. He was also a member of the now disbanded Lancet Medical Journal's COVID-19 Origins Investigation Committee and signatory on the infamous Lancet COVID-19 statement, which prematurely debunked the virus tracing its origins to the Wuhan lab. It's the wet bar. It's the wet bar. Also speaking at the conference was Zhang Zhenming, who serves as a senior investigator at the U.S. National Institute of Health, NIH. He received the NIH's 2010 Award of Merit along with the Director's Awards from the NIH's National Cancer Institute. Also addressing the conference were several Chinese military-linked researchers from institutes, including the Chinese People's Liberation Army, Naval Medical University, the Military Medical Academy, and the PLA Academy of Military Sciences. Oh yeah, okay, so that's interesting, right? Qin Chefeng, a PLA Academy of Military Sciences research fellow, lectured on the adaptive mutation of the new coronavirus from human to mouse. The unearthed presentation follows increased scrutiny over the manipulation of coronavirus strains to increase lethality through risky gains of function research with mice designed to mimic human cells. The purpose of the conference is to discuss the main scientific issues in research hotspots of virology, exchange the latest research results and research ideas, display new methods, new technologies, and new products for the diagnosis and prevention of viral diseases, and promote the exchange between China scholars and international counterparts. Explains the event's promotional website before emphasizing that the exchange and cooperation between the two countries have promoted the development of virology research in China. Well. So, conflict of interest, one world order? Absolutely so. It'll be the next step. We'll just create new viruses and we'll say it's mutated from the COVID-19. Don't be surprised when they use that alibi. And of course, the Delta virus, the Mega virus, the Zen virus will go on and on and on. So, you know how this goes. Birds of a feather flock together? Absolutely. So you got a bunch of globalist hacks all holding hands, singing Kumbaya, and trying to make sure, let's put more fear into the people. Let's get everyone sick so we can rule the world and be New World Order approved. What can you say about that, folks? The truth hurts. But one thing I know for sure, every infection has an Achilles heel. And this is why I don't buy the propaganda rhetoric about take the shot, it'll make you feel better, because, hey, people are at risk. If you see the latest stats, I talked about that in my last episode, 17,519 had died. And even I got a couple people I chat with along the communities. One person's mother died after taking the shot, and the person had a friend who posted on Facebook. 2 days later, he died after taking the shot too. Oh yeah, so they're real healthy. They're very good, right? This is so how brilliant some people are. Remember this, folks. It hasn't been approved. It's under emergency, under authorization, EUA. All right, and even if you go to the FDA's own website, there's nothing officially approved. Okay, you gotta read the fine print. You don't go around listening to bobbleheads pundits, knuckleheads, etc. But you got people out there believing that, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A bunch of people that they see the bait, they get caught in hook, line, and sinker. So this is what I have to say about it. The whole thing is repugnant, deplorable, and war crimes, war criminals. So everyone's involved in this are war criminals. Nuremberg codes to the core. Well, I'm going to be checking this out here on my intake on this. I'm going to do one more here. And this one is from baronarms.com. Rittenhouse self-defense argument bolstered by judge's decision by Cam Edwards. It came out earlier this morning. And it says here, next Monday, Illinois teen Kyle Rittenhouse is scheduled to go on trial for the deaths of Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and the wounding of Gage Grosskreutz. Last August, as riots and looting were erupting across Kenosha, Wisconsin, Rittenhouse's defense got a big boost this week when the judge overseeing the case ruled that while prosecutors cannot refer to the three men shot by Rittenhouse as victims because it could be prejudicial to the jury, defense attorneys can describe the trio as rioters and looters. Wow. I think the prosecution should drop that case right now because you may not have any merit, folks. So they may not have any merit, counsel. So Circuit Judge Bruce Schroeder cautioned the defense team against using pejorative terms during the opening statements, but he said they could use them in the closing arguments if the evidence suggests that the men engaged in criminal acts. He can demonize them if he wants, if he thinks it will win points with the jury, Schroeder said. And another ruling that could help Rittenhouse's legal team make the case that the client was acting in self-defense, Judge Schroeder weighed in on what the jury would be allowed to hear about police interactions with Rittenhouse before the shooting took place. Once again, Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger wasn't happy with the judge's decision. Yeah, prosecuting attorney, right? Schroeder was also rejected the prosecution's request to block any evidence that law enforcement provided warned the vigilantes the night of the shooting and thanked them for their presence. In the video taken before Rittenhouse fired his gun, officers in the armored vehicle tossed bottles of water to him and other armed civilians who were clearly violating the city's 8 p.m. curfew. One officer can be heard in the recording express his gratitude to the group. We appreciate you guys, the officer said. We really do. I'm concerned that it's going to be turned into a trial over what law enforcement should or shouldn't have done that night, Binger said. And I don't think that's what this court or this trial should be deciding. In opting to allow evidence, Schroeder said he wouldn't permit the defense to argue encouraging words reflecting the police department's overall opinion. It could, however, help explain Rittenhouse's mindset that night. I would not let it be to prove that the entire police presence on that evening appreciated Mr. Rittenhouse's behavior or his presence, he said. Revelance is another matter. Well, I got one question for Counsel Binger. Can you prove to me the police are obligated to protect the individual? And you better. I know one thing. Those so-called victims who got shot. I know one thing. They probably have bad track records. So you know how you gonna defend these individuals? That's the question. I think it's more like a big art of war we're going to see here, folks. So I'm gonna carry on here. Keep in mind that despite the media circus, when Kyle Rittenhouse walks into the courtroom next week, he'll be considered innocent. It is up to prosecutors to prove beyond a reasonable doubt over the course of the trial that Rittenhouse was not acting self-defense, not the other way around. I felt since the beginning that was going to be a high bar for prosecutors given the video evidence that has come to light so far, which clearly shows Rittenhouse was walking down the street when Rosenbaum began chasing him, eventually attracting a larger crowd which tailed along. While Mr. Rittenhouse is being pursued by the group, an unknown gunman fires into the air, though it's unclear why. The weapon's muzzle flash appears in footage filmed at the scene. Mr. Rittenhouse turns around the sound of gunfire as another pursuer lunges towards him from the same direction. Mr. Rittenhouse then fires 4 times and appears to shoot the man in the head. Rittenhouse is being chased by a mob, and hears the sound of gunshot fire close behind him as he turns. Rosenbaum reaches for his rifle, only then does Rittenhouse fire. Was Rittenhouse the aggressor in this case? It doesn't look like it to me. Was Rittenhouse feared for his life at this point? Well, he was being chased by an angry mob, and someone had just fired a shot. I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that in those moments, Rittenhouse was afraid that he was at risk of great bodily harm, or even if the crowd got a hold of him. This is the same is true for the shooting of Hoover, who actually assaulted Rittenhouse with a skateboard before he was shot. Rittenhouse wounding Gage Gross Cruz could be the most difficult to defend, but use of force expert John Black provided pre-trial testimony supporting Rittenhouse's actions. Bystander video showed that after Rittenhouse shot Rosenbaum, he ran down the street. At one point, he stumbled at the man, came out of the crowd, and kicked him in the face. Black said Rittenhouse fired at that man, but missed. A moment later, Hoover hit Rittenhouse in the neck with the skateboard and tried to grab Rittenhouse's rifle, prompting Rittenhouse to shoot him. Black said Gross Cruz approached with his hands raised and in a surrender motion, but he had a handgun in his right hand. He backed up before he stepped forward the lower pistol Rittenhouse and shot him in the arm. Black said Rittenhouse maintained control of his rifle throughout and just didn't spray the crowd randomly with bullets. And based on that video footage, he's right. I've seen it. So he was doing things by steps. He wasn't running amok. He was just focusing he was focused on trying to preserve his life. He values it, and that is natural law. Okay? And even in the Wisconsin Constitution, it talks about natural rights, right of life, liberty, and prosperity, pursuit of happiness. Okay? So I want to continue on here. While I develop my opinions of the Rittenhouse case, I'm also willing to keep an open mind as we hear additional testimony and evidence over the next few weeks. For now, though, I continue to believe that Rittenhouse self-defense argument is strong and is going to be extremely difficult for prosecutors to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Rittenhouse was not acting to protect his life when he pulled the trigger. And you know what? I have to agree. They got to prove he was endangered to society. And not what those dingleberries of the mainstream garbage media has to say. All right? That's a fact. Because they love mob justice. They want to use the Lizzie Borden syndrome. Okay? That's from the Lizzie Borden trial. Everyone believed she was guilty when she got prosecuted by a grand jury. And, of course, they believed the hype, and she was found not guilty, and everyone freaked out. But many researchers believe she was the killer, but they couldn't prove it in court. So that's why, my friends, you never jump the hype, the bandwagon, or have this mob justice mentality. Everyone has a right to a fair trial, whether you like this individual or not. Because if you don't support his right, his right, yours can be next. Do you want that domino effect go to your lap or someone you love? You better think before you speak, and don't just yap your mouth without any facts. That's how I look at it. And you know what? It's going to be an interesting case. And I recommend everyone just keep tabs and look at everything in the bigger picture. He is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That's it. No exceptions. And that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or just on this internet account, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to the forum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my speaker page. And if you want to contact me, you can go via email, lookyourlucknumber03@protonmail.com. If you want to donate, go to paypal.me or cash.app/lookyourlucknumber3. If you want to support National Pulse and Bearing Arms, that will be cool. We do have memberships and so forth. VIP for Bearing Arms and National Pulse. If you want to subscribe, donate, that would be great. Hey, we will give you information the best we can, all in good faith. No hype, no exploitation, and none of this, faction fetish, okay? So that's how I look at it, and hopefully You appreciate it. So once again, thank you for your time. But always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourself. Keep on spreading the love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.